something in the outskirts. And even when you, in the rain season, when the bushes are overgrown, when you want to walk the path, the footpath, to go and free yourself, people will defecate on the footpath. And they are throwing refuse anywhere. No single pastor or mala is talking about good sanitation in this community. Every day, wallahi, there's hellfire. There's a well in hell which is boiling, and it is burning hell, and hell is crying. Fire is burning fire, and one fire is crying. These people can lie through their teeth. I don't know why they are those ruling this world. Mala will lie, the greatest lie, and people will be applauding him. Allahu Akbar, shake, atakbir, Allah. What has happened to us? Nobody is talking about good sanitation. Our gutters, one on the east side, is completely filled with sand. So when rain falls, and people sit there to sell food, and people buy to eat. Filth in this community. The other side of the road, the gutter, the water, the stagnant water in it right now has reached 2 years. Last year we couldn't desalt it. The water is still there today, and there's mosquito all over the place. And when they fall sick, they will come and say it is Allah. So it is these creatures that are damaging our children's brains. And that is the agendum the white people put in place. Please let me summarize and go to their books. Please, idolatry isn't evil. If idolatry is evil, then Islam and Christianity are both idolatry and they are evil, as I'm about to prove to you. They want to use it to manufacture. And they don't want us to also manufacture, because when we manufacture, Europe cannot survive. They only survive on manufacturing, production of goods and commodities, and selling to the world, and exploiting of our mineral resources. That is their source of wealth, source of survival. So we start manufacturing, and we can exploit our own resources. We stop them, and they will die. That's why they created this religion, and they told us we should not practice idolatry, we should not practice spirituality. Islam is idolatry, as I'm coming to prove to you. So they don't want us, and they don't also want us to go for our power. Black people, our power, supernatural power, is spirituality, idolatry. The idols, they are gods of war, gods of invention, gods of technology, gods of wealth, gods of love, gods of fruit of the womb, gods of barrenness. They are in opposite. They are principles. Negative and positive, negative and positive. And they are supernatural forces. So they don't want us to go for our power and come and make powerful weapons and go and conquer them back. That's why they created this religion and say we should throw them away. But everything they do there is idolatry. Spiritual, but you don't know. So they want to weaken us so that we can't conquer them again. So some of us, we are attacking religion because we want you to know that they are lying to you. So go back to your home and rediscover your roots. Go and reconnect yourself to your household clan. Every clan has a covenant with a particular idol, a particular spirit. I was watching one guy on Mami Grace, and in fact, I nearly wept. That every clan has a totem. Some people, their totem is the bat, others, theirs is the parrot, dog, and what have you. All the spirits have the appearance of animals, as quotation master put it. And every clan, every family has had a covenant with a spirit, because we created them to come and serve us. Why do you not tell us soliciting their service is shirk? It's the greatest sin. But when we came to Mecca, we did not meet Allah. We met sand, a wall, and a stone. It is here. I'll be reading it from the Bible. So, let me ask you, if you don't still understand, ask any Muslim or Christian scholar. Before Islam and Christianity, slavery came before Islam, before Christianity. Christianity came after slavery, and Islam followed up. So before slavery, who was our God? Which God did black people worship? In terms of distress, when a woman gave birth successfully, who did she give thanks and praises to? They should tell us that God, the name, the specific name. Next time we are going to war, Gonjes. anytime we have war with any other people, we will let the Sunnis go to the war. But they said the juju is shirk. They will go and we see if Allah will fight for them. Idols have been here before we came here. Every community is established on an idol or idols. They are a blueprint of our lives on this earth, but you don't know. Because we put them here before we came and met them. So every settlement is near an idol. But they told them that it's human being who created idolatry. They don't know what they're talking about. These spirits have been here before you, your grandfather. You can deal with a spirit for 5 generations. Because they live older than us. That's why the mother will tell you the genies, they live. You people don't know what they're talking about. Idols were here before we came. These spirits, they were here before we came. Because we put them there. And when we come into our limited bodies, we will command them to do what we want for us. So anybody who told you that we created idolatry, idols, the person does not know what you're talking about. Let's go to the Bible. I'm going to read Bible verses for you. We're going to Exodus 24, verse 1 going. This is Exodus chapter 24. Good. This Bible is the Holy Bible. The what? The Gideon's International. Gideon's International. Yes. It's not supposed to be sold. Exodus chapter 24 verse 1. Then he said to Moses, come up to the Lord, you and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu, and 70 of the elders. That is when, okay, let me continue because we don't have time. That Moses and 3 of his brothers, Abihu, Nadab, and the other guy, and 70 of elders of the Israelites, all the clans, they should come. And 70 of the elders of Israel, and worship from afar on mountain Sinai. Moses alone shall come near to the Lord, but others shall not come near, and the people shall not come up with him. So the people will be at the bottom of the mountain. Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the rules. The words of the Lord. Moses spent 40 days and 49 with Yahweh on Mount Sinai. That's where he was writing the scrolls, the 10 commandments and others. So he said he should come and bring 3 of his brothers and 70 of the elders. But Moses read the terms and conditions of the covenant to the people. That's why they're saying Moses came and told the people all the words of the Lord and all the rules. That is the covenant rules. And all the people answered with one voice and said, all the words that the Lord has spoken, we shall do. So they've agreed for the covenant. And you know what they did when they agreed? So your ancestors had covenant with Asasiah. They agreed. So if you dump him or her and you are worshiping other people's God, she will punish you. That's why they are punishing us. So let's move on. Moses came and told that all we will do. And Moses wrote down all the words of the Lord. He rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain. Built an altar. What's an altar? That's idolatry. Stone altars. You can use sand. You can use stones where they are going to burn the offerings on it, or where they are going to slaughter the sacrificial animals on. In the olden days, they burned them. But today, you just sacrifice and eat. But they need the spirit of that sacrificial animal, not the blood, not the meat. He rose early in the morning and built an altar at the foot of the mountain, and 12 pillars. What do you use to do pillars? Stones. So one altar, 12 pillars. According to 12 tribes of what? Israel. That's idolatry. And he sent young men of the people of Israel who offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. So they offer sacrifices there. It is idols that we pacify, not the Creator. The Creator has nothing to do with us. If you commit evil against yourself and another person, there's no forgiveness. Nature, karma will deal with you. But if you enter into a covenant with an idol and you go against the covenant, you have to offer peace sacrifice. You have to pacify the idol. So they offered burnt offerings and sacrificed peace offerings of oxen to the Lord. So the Lord here is an idol, not the Creator. And Moses took half of the blood and put it in basin. Which blood? When they slaughtered the animals, they collected the blood and split them into two. So he took half. And half of the blood he threw against the altar. He splattered the blood against the altar. Sprinkled it on it. Please, this is what? Idolatry. Is that not what our people do? They slaughtered the animals and drained the blood on the altar. So Moses, when they slaughtered the 12 oxen, 12 tribes of Israel, that's the covenant. They collected the blood, split them into two, splattered one on the pillars or the altar. The altar there represents the idol. That's the image of the idol. So the altar there represents Yahweh, the stone or the earth, the sand. Whether you build it, everything. You go to any shrine, you see a wall or an altar, either of mud or stone, anything. You know, stones weather to form sand. Simple. So Moses splitted the blood, half of the blood, on the altar. That means he sprinkled them on Yahweh. Then he took the book of the covenant and read it in the hearing of the people. When he spent 40 days and 40 nights with Yahweh on Mount Sinai, that is chapter 23 coming. He wrote the rules and regulations there. And they said, all that the Lord has spoken, we will do, and we will be obedient. So they are accepting the covenant. And Moses took the blood and threw it on the people and said, behold, the blood of the covenant that the Lord has made with you in accordance with all these words. So he split the blood from the sacrificial animals into two. Sprinkled one half on the altar, that is Yahweh, and sprinkle the other half on the people. That is, they signed and sealed the covenant. You know, some people, when lovers want to marry, you say, let's do covenant, blood exchange. Simple. Please, what is this? This is idolatry. But the pastors will explain this thing differently. They said in the olden days, the Israelites worship God through stone. But Jesus came, Jesus represented a stone, and Jesus' blood wiped out all sacrifices. And these same people told us that they use Jesus as an atonement to the sin of Adam. If you offer sacrifices to clean a sin, the God that you are offering that sacrifice, that is peace sacrifices. That God is an idol. So they were speaking idolatry, but the pastors don't know. If you kill Jesus to clean Adam's sin, that is peace offering. And that means that God who accepted that Jesus' blood is an idol. The Creator does not accept human blood or even animal blood. No. So in the olden days, they were using stones and sacrifices to worship God, the Creator. But later on, the Creator saw that he has gone astray. And for that matter, he has to change his words. You have insulted the Creator. So the Creator didn't know that he was doing the wrong thing. So Moses sprinkled the blood on both sides of the covenant. Then Moses and Aaron, Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the elders of Israel went up, and they saw the God of Israel. There was under his feet as It were a pavement of sapphire stone, like very heaven for cleanness. And he did not lay his hand on the chief men of the people of Israel. They beheld God and ate and drank. The Lord said to Moses, come up to me on the mountain and wait there, that I may give you the tablets of stone. So they saw the God of Israel. That is Exodus 24 verse 10. They saw him. And he was sitting down. And he did not greet them. Pastors will tell you that's not what they are meaning. It's not only Moses. Isaiah chapter 1 verse 6. He saw God. Micaiah 4 verse 5. He saw God. And then. A lot of, even Abraham ate with God. Just like the way they ate with God. Abraham. God and two angels appeared to Abraham in his house. This is what some people, our ancestors told you that the gods walk the face of this earth. The Greek mythology will tell you that the gods walk the face of this earth. They are still walking and they will still walk. We are with gods and goddesses. Apostle Savo is a god, but we don't know. Because of these white people, they have damaged our brains. Apostle Savo, he has created fish. What he has done is greater than all what the prophets did. Akonfanachi was a god. Nero Japan was a god. Some of them don't even know that they are gods. And we have women who are goddesses among us, but they don't know. So our ignorance is why we are suffering. And these gods who came on this earth, some of them slept with mortal women and gave birth to children. And they are the children they call the children of the gods, sons and daughters of the gods. Some people call them the demigods. And these children did miracles. So, Yeshua is supposed to be one of them. But the Jesus they are talking about is an idol, Mary and her son. That's why they say Mary is the mother of God. Mother of God, you don't know why. Mother of Jesus. Now, here it is clear. Now let's go to 25. Exodus chapter 25. In 25, so when Yahweh invited Moses alone to come to the top and spend 40 days, 49, he was telling him that they should make a shrine. And they said tabernacle. So ours is shrine, is blasphemous. But their shrine is tabernacle, is synagogue, whatever. The mosques and the churches are shrines. They are subsidiary shrines. The Kaaba is a shrine because they go there to offer sacrifices. I'll read it here. But we don't know. So if you leave your God and you're worshiping other people's gods, they will punish you. It is there in the Bible. So he took Moses up and gave him specific measurements that they will come and build the tabernacle. It was a mobile one. So everything will be in the form of pegs, standing pegs, and petitioners. Everything is going to be clothes. And the tabernacle has three components. One, the holy place. That one will be like a room. Then the courtyard. Then the Ark of Covenant. So they will use poles and stands so that they can dismantle them and pack them. You know, they were walking in the wilderness where they were moving from Egypt to Canaan, even though that is not exactly what it was. So, per their own explanation, they were moving in the wilderness. So they have to make a shrine. So anytime they get to anywhere, they will erect the shrine, worship God. God will descend there, their idol, and they will move again. So this is what Yahweh said. The Lord said to Moses, that's Exodus chapter 25. The Lord said to Moses, speak to the people of Israel that they take for me a contribution from every man whose heart moves him, you shall receive the contribution from me. And this is the contribution that you shall receive from them: gold, silver, and bronze, blue and purple scarlet yarns, and fine twined lining, goat's hair, tanned ram skins, goat skins, acacia wood, goat hairs. When you go to Asherah, what do you see? These things. You see these things. oil for the lamp, spices for the anointing oil, and for the fragrant incense, fragrant incense, everything. Onyx stones for setting, for the ephod and for the breast pieces, ephod, the clothes that they wear, and what they will sew here. And let them make me a sanctuary, that I may dwell in their midst. Sanctuary, that is the tabernacle, a shrine, so that he will dwell, he will live amongst them. The Creator does not live among his creations. The Creator does not come on the face of this earth and live among his creation. It is idols that would come and live in the image and interact with you. What do you want? So they will speak with you. You also speak with them. Then anytime you conjure, they will come. So that is an idol. So if a man tells you, or if Moses scholars say, Islam, they believe in all the prophets, and Allah is Yahweh, Allah was the God of Israel, that is chapter 2, verse 247, that is Surah Al-Baqarah. He has already taken a covenant with the people of Israel. This is the Allah they are talking about. The one Moses and Co went and met on the top of the mountain. The Creator wouldn't come on the top of a mountain. A mountain, this earth is too little for the Creator. That's an idol. So Islam made a mistake by saying Allah is the God of the Israelites. It's a very big mistake. Allah is not the God of Israel. This is Yahweh they are talking about, not Allah. Allah is different. But when you create a religion, they want to prove they want to create the impression that God is one. So the God of the Israelites, the God of Christianity, the God of Jews, the Chinese is still Allah, but they are lost. Why are they lost? Who misled them? The same people who misled the Christians are those who created Islam. So Yahweh said they should make a shrine for him so that he can dwell in their midst. Now when you read ahead, that exactly as I show you concerning the pattern of the tabernacle and of all its furniture, you shall make it so. The way he has shown Moses. So the time the Creator was with Moses on the mountain Sinai, who was taking care of the universe. So let's go to, we can't read everything. Let's go to 25 verse 21. And you shall put the mercy seat on the top of the ark. And in the ark you shall put the testimony that I shall give you. So they will make an ark. The ark is in Ethiopia right now. It's like a container made of acacia wood with a cover, with two toys shaped like angels, and that he should put the scrolls inside the ark. The testimony, they should put the testimony. There I will meet with you. That's chapter 22. Exodus 25:22. There I will meet with you, and from above the mercy seat, from between the two cherubim, that's the two toys, that are on the ark of the testimony, I will speak with you about all that I will give you in commandment for the people of Israel. So when Yahweh descends, when they conjure him and he comes, he will dwell in that ark, that container. And between the two toys, two cherubim, that's the angels, toy angels, he will speak, he will give Moses commandment to be given to his people. And the people will also respond. The Creator doesn't speak to people. So if God is an idol like this, you can't write everything down. So these ways are not the ways of the Creator, and they are not the ways of those gods. Those who created the religion, they edited this, our ancestors' scrolls. Then you shall make a table of acacia wood and blah blah blah. There's a table there. There are lamps. The lamps should be burning throughout the night. Then let's go to chapter 29, verse 29, 30. Exodus 25, 29, 30. And you shall make its plates and dishes for incense, and its flagons and bowls with which to pour drink offerings. They will have bowls. special bowls that you should make to pour drink offerings. What is drink offerings? Libation. That is libation. But they are saying offerings, drink offering. You pour wine. You shall make them of pure gold. You shall make them of pure gold. That's an order. If you don't do it like that, it's a taboo. The Creator has no taboos. And you shall set the bread of the presence on the table before me regularly. They should put bread there on the table all the time. Yahweh eats. You don't know that they eat? That's why in the olden days, our ancestors would put food. They honor their ancestors with food. And they'll come and eat. You don't know. Yahweh says they should put bread on the table inside the tabernacle all the time. When I was debating one elder on radio, he says their food is for the priests. That is the priest who will eat the bread. So when you read the student's Bible, it is said like this, that the bread is the special bread, also called bread of presence, was put before God every day on the special table in the holy place. Now let's go to chapter 26, verse 31. Exodus 26, verse 31. And you shall make a veil of blue and purple and scarlet yarns and fine twined lining. It shall be made with cherubim skillfully worked into it. A veil. Here we call it a curtain. And you should use your hands and sew the shape of angels on it. Broidery, that's all. Today's world they use this machines, these sewing machines. And you shall hang it on 4 pillars of acacia overlaid with gold, with hooks of gold on 4 bases of silver. And you shall hang the veil from the clasps and bring the ark of the testimony in there within the veil. So when they make the tabernacle, we have the courtyard, we have the tabernacle itself. The enclosure, the measurement is it 12 meters by 1.8 meters, like a veranda. So they make an enclosure. So you should make a veil. Veil means what? Partition. So you split it into 2. The inside is the most holy place, and the other side is the holy place, and outside is the courtyard. So the people will come and be worshiping him, and they'll be entering inside for divination. So it's only the priest and Moses that can go the holy place. And I should put the Ark of Covenant in with the most holy place. Bring the Ark of the testimony in there within the veil. And the veil shall separate for you the holy place from the most holy place. Konkromu konkrambia. You will konkrambia and you will konkromu konkrambia. Then you will have the courtyard. It's just like, let me explain this way. It's just like our undeveloped stadium, the stadium. They will build a fence wall around it. Then dressing room at one side. Good. So the stadium, inside the pitch is where the Israelites will come and be standing. Then the dressing room will be split into 2. The innermost part is the holiest place. That's where Allah will come. Yahweh will descend inside the Ark of Covenant and speak to the priest, and the spirit will speak. So anybody who wants to do divination will come. Please, haven't you been visiting people with this type of establishment? We have fetish priests who will come to your community, come and hire somebody's room, a single room, tie a cloth across. And when you come to do divination, you will sit over there. Then he will enter behind the veil and drum, picture, and call the spirit. They will come. Then he will do they will speak with you. What they don't understand is that we have national guards and we have lesser guards. The national guards, the siblings I'm talking about, the most powerful ones, they are those in you called Onyami, Onyanke, Onyami. And the lesser ones are those who call abosom. But they are also abosom, they are also idols. But they are the most powerful ones. So in this book, the national gods are spelled with capital G. And the lesser ones are spelled with small g. They call the lesser gods. And they say the lesser gods are demons. But the national god is the creator. They are lying to you. The national gods operate through these lesser gods. So I have a fetish priest in this community who has a shrine. And he has gone to a headquarters or a bigger shrine in Akan land and brought a subsidiary shrine here. The same thing with the mosques and the churches. Simple. So this tabernacle, search from your phone, tabernacle, phone dictionary, offline dictionary. It is the phone dictionary, that the soft copy that has that function. Etymology or synonyms. When you search for tabernacle, go and tap synonyms. You will get holy place, shrine. Shrine is part of the tabernacle. So tabernacle, sanctuary, whatever means shrine. So mosques, church, shrines. They are lying to us. So this is what Yahweh started them to make. And that is idolatry. Now on 27 verse 19. The length of the court shall be 100 cubits, and the breadth 50, and the height 5 cubits, with hangings of fine twine, lining, and bases of bronze. That's verse 18. All the utensils of the tabernacle for every use, and all its pegs, and all the pegs of the court shall be of bronze. If Moses, you are a man, don't follow this order and see what happened to you. Do you know that these spirits, these particular ones I'm talking about, at time when the fetish priest offends them, they will beat him and throw him away. Do you know that? They can throw him into the people. So this is a taboo. You must do it that way. The Creator has no taboos. That they must be made of bronze. Because all the idols have their materials. Some deal with metal and the type of metal. Some deal with wood and the special wood. Some deal with water. Some deal with earth. And let me read here for you. Adultery at other places. Let's go to Exodus 20 verse 22. Exodus 20 verse 22. This is Exodus chapter 20 verse 22. And the Lord said to Moses, Thus you shall say to the people of Israel, You have seen for yourselves that I have talked with you from heaven. You shall not make gods of silver to be with me, nor shall you make for yourselves gods of gold. So don't make idols of silver or gold, or don't worship other idols. The Creator doesn't care whether you worship this idol or that. An altar of earth you shall make for me. An altar of earth. When they say earth, that is dirt, sand. In some Bibles they say dirt. That is sand. So Yahweh does not need metal altars, images. No, you use earth. That is why when you go to Jerusalem, there's a wall made of what? Earth. Then listen again. An altar of earth, that's verse 24, an altar of earth you shall make for me, and sacrifice on it your burnt offerings and your peace offerings. So the altar for Yahweh should be made of sand. Peace offering, again. The Creator, you don't pacify the Creator. Your sheep and your oxen. In every place where I cause my name to be remembered, I will come to you and bless you. If you make me an altar of stone, you shall not build it of hewn stone, cut stones. For if you wield your tool on it, you profane it. He's saying, if you want to make an altar with stones, use natural stones. Don't cut them with metal. That means Yahweh does not want metal at all. So here Yahweh is saying, if you want to build an altar for him, either mud, sand, earth, or stones. Please, when you go to Jerusalem, don't you see a wall and a stone? The same way to Allah. You go to Mecca, the Kaaba is built with earth. It has been reconstructed several times. And the last time they built it, they used earth. Either blocks, sand, anything. It's still earth. And there's a stone in the Kaaba. So altars are built with earth and stones. That's for some spirit. Some other spirit, they deal with wood carvings. Others deal with other things. I hope you understand. So idolatry, you can never go and live with stone, because stone will weather to form sand. So whether sand, wall, anything, is still stones. That is why our ancestors said the stone is your God. Don't destroy it, because the spirit cannot transcend into this physical world with a stone. Because you yourself, you are stone. You yourself, you are earth. Because you are made of nutrient. Where do you get the nutrient? From food. Where do the plants get their nutrient? From earth. And the nutrient in the earth are called humus. That's all. So they pass through stones into this physical world to do what we want for us. And you know that you are also an idol human being. You are an image of the Creator, with the created spirit dwelling in you. So when we say idolatry, it's an image which a spirit will come and dwell in it. But because the idols we deal with, they are inferior to the Creator, their idols are also inferior. But the Creator is a supernatural being, so his image, his idol, can walk, talk, do everything, and even think. So we ourselves, are bosom. Because the flesh is earth, then the spirit is in you. So when you go to a shrine, the image you see there, whether it's made of metal, it's carved from wood, it's sculpted from stone, anything, it is not the image that is doing the miracles. It is the spirit that will come and dwell in the image that you offer sacrifices to. And it's that spirit that will do the miracles. So you yourself, you are an idol. And you have been doing a lot of miracles, but you don't know. So, this is the God of Israel. Now let's see idolatry at other places. Look at here. 20 verse 1 onwards. Listen. Exodus 20 verse 1. And God spoke all these words, saying, I am the Lord your God, you, Israelites, not all of us, who brought you out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of slavery, the Israelites. You shall have no other gods before me. The Creator will not tell you, do not go and worship other gods. No, the Creator will not be a jealous God. After all, the Creator has not asked you to worship him. It's idols that we worship. And we don't worship them, we command them. But you can't command them for free. You must do something for them. So if you are worshiping Allah, you are ignorant. And listen, you shall not make for yourself a carved image or any likeness of anything that is in the heavens, that's above, or that is in the earth beneath, that is in the holes, mountains, or that is in the water underneath the earth. So some people's idols they worship, they come from above. Others own are from the graves, the caves. Others own are from the waters. They are all idols. Yahweh is a tender God. And the Voltaireans are worshiping the Tamale people, Tamalesa, but they don't know. So the Creator wouldn't tell you not to worship anything. Quotation Master said, these national gods, these powerful gods, they are very envious of themselves. Because if they lose their people, nobody will worship them. And they don't take 1, 2, or 3 sacrificial animals. No. If you kill a chicken to Allah, you are just wasting your time. They want thousands. That's why you create festivals, so that during the festive time, the whole empire, they will feast and they will slaughter animals for them. So Salah, Allah is superfluous with sacrificial animals. That is why some of us cannot speak. If Allah was hungry, like by now he will possess people to come and kill us right now. Because they are the gods of war. And ours is the god of wealth, bumper harvest, fertility, love, marriage, everything. So it got to a time these Israelites left them and they were worshiping other gods, getting what they wanted. And they have to murder them. That's why they've killed so many people. So the time Allah was hungry, if we were saying this thing, oh, Muslims will come and kill you. But now our idols are also hungry. They have also formed a union, and they are fighting them in their spiritual realm. That's why we are also fighting them right now. Whatever is happening in the spiritual realm is happening here. You don't know. So it will be long. We will revert back and worship our Sasiya. If not, we will put in extinction. Ghana is heading towards an apocalypse, but we don't know. People are so damp and so ignorant. And these people must survive. Look at what the politicians are doing. They are distributing motorbikes, bicycles, other things. And they import these motorbikes. Meanwhile, Apostle Sabo is making motorbikes. Give the money to Apostle Sabo to employ people to make these motorbikes. So that this money that has left this car will stay here and deal with. You see? The politicians themselves have been bewitched. They are mentally deranged. They are hypnotized. We are robbing ourselves. That's a spiritualist I was watching on Antigris. That we are chasing, we are running after something that we have left behind. We are chasing something that we have left behind. And Pagigami said, Latif Bukara, please, bro, do also tree teaching for the page to grow more. I have not started. When I want to speak in Twi, I'll go on radio or TV stations. A TV station that has a nationwide coverage, I'll speak Twi. But a TV station that has a global coverage, I speak English. Facebook has a global coverage, that's why I speak English. And it is your duty to translate. Also, learn from me, learn from other people, do your own research, and also spread this message, translate it into your local dialect, to your people. I've not started my ministry. I'm just putting this thing out there in case they kill me. Because the evil people are so many. The traditional authorities, the religious leaders, the politicians, and their gluttonic supporters. They are working hard to eliminate me and others. Because they know that I have their secret. When I get the attention of the masses will rise up against them and they'll run out of this country. So thank our ancestors that I am still alive. They are suppressing this message. Because the video I made with Mami Grace, I expected a lot of TV stations to have invited me to come and expand more, but they did not. And they will not. Because the evil people control the media. If evil people want to rule you and loot and destroy your lives, they control the most powerful enterprises. Education, medical services, medical profession, military, security, the media, everything. So if I'm sick, I'm going to hospital. Because this government, you don't know, Nanado is more than the Antichrist. Not only him, they are controlling every state enterprise. Bank of Ghana, the police, the military, even medical doctors. You go there, they will give you one injection and kill you. That is why it is dangerous to vote these people into power. They'll use the same power to loot you and to murder you. Yes, so I was talking about, what was I talking about? That's Exodus 20 verse 1. That he's a jealous God. Let's continue. You shall not bow down to them or serve them, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. Not only him, as I see her is jealous. So she's punishing us. Parents are blaming children. They say the children are spoiled. Is it only us that the Creator hates us? And the children are cursing the parents. Husbands are exploiting their wives and divorcing them. When the breasts are protruding, they will go every mile, anything, to marry them. When they give birth to 5, 7 children, the breasts are there like fufu, they will divorce them, go and marry another one. So they are exploiting the women. And because of that, the women will also wash their pussies for them to eat. And they will destroy their brains and loot all their resources. So couples who are supposed to unite, so that your brother, your friends will join the unity with their wives, and we will unite and fight and liberate ourselves. This is where our unity starts. They have succeeded in severing that bond between us. So today we have foes who have married, not couples, not lovers. The young guys are exploiting the women. They've lined them up and they're using them, throwing them away. And the little girl, the girls are also saying, okay, if you don't marry us, you just fuck us and dump us, we'll also chop your money. And that has not solved the problem. We don't know our problem. We are running after something that is behind us. So there's confusion. As I see, our National Guard has put confusion into us. The leaders are blaming the followers are blaming the leaders. Malams are blaming pastors are blaming malams. Religious leaders are blaming the political leaders are blaming the religious leaders, and both of them are blaming the chiefs, the traditional, everybody is blaming everybody. We are heading towards an apocalypse. That is why some of us, our ancestors have raised some of us to speak. But because of desperation, they don't even want to listen to us. Our leaders are supposed to take us in and sponsor us, give us whatever we want for us to do our research. Then we will meet and deliberate and give them our findings. And they will make policies in this country. But they won't do that because they've been bewitched, they are possessed. They are rather fighting against us. Instead of us to unite and fight these white people, they've succeeded in putting a knife between relations. And do you know how they did that? They created the religions, brought them here, and succeeded in forcing us to worship other lands' gods. So the gods of our land are punishing us. So they are using them to you don't know what is going on. That is Exodus 20 verse 5, you shall not bow down to them or serve them. Which deities is Yahweh talking about? The deities from above, from heaven, beneath the earth, and inside the water. Idols. Don't create other idols. The Creator wouldn't tell you, don't worship others. The Creator is not jealous of anything. For I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God. The Creator is not a jealous God. It's these idols who are jealous. So when you leave your national God and you're worshiping other people's God, because of jealousy, your national God will punish you. That is why it is only Africans who are trooping outside Africa to look for money. Meanwhile, the money is here. Where is the biofuel man? I have seen that a strong APP member is gathering the seeds of that plant to go and plant. You see, this government is conniving with their strong supporters. They've watched my video and they've seen that we are supposed to produce fuel in this country. Somebody came here, did research and discovered biofuel, and we are still importing. We consume 1 million barrels of fuel a day, and 1 barrel of fuel has 42 gallons. Look at the amount of money that's leaving this country. But somebody discovered biofuel, and we could have the government should have established very vast lands for us to cultivate this crop, make the fuel here, and even export, so that the huge amount of money that are leaving this country only on fuel would have stayed here. But they sat down, and the Americans came and took him there, learned the technology, and poisoned him. So you are poor, you are saying it's your ancestors who sin and You don't know what I'm talking about. And foolish Malams and pastors foolish Malams are telling us that it's Allah who is testing us. What kind of nonsense is this? What kind of nonsense is that? So I have seen that they are distributing the seeds to, or they've told them to plant them. That's a cabal. MPP is a cabal. They are watching my videos. You don't know. Even the Arabians are watching my videos, but you don't know. Excuse me. Did you hear Israel leaders ban the preaching of Jesus Christ in their country? They watched my video. Now they have rescinded their decision. Do you know why? I'm sure the Vatican has rushed in there and entered an agreement with them. So it is the national idols that even the household idols, they envy each other. Yes, you go for spiritual juju from somewhere, you bring it, it won't work. Your household god will destroy it. After you go to somewhere, they will tell you, no, your problem is not any problem. Come and honor the idol in your house. It's just like you. Be in Kintamponov district. Then you go to Central Gonja district to report a criminal case. They will tell you, no, go to your people. As above, as below. That's all. Everything in the spiritual world is in the physical world. So, for I, the Lord your God, am a jealous God, visiting the iniquity of the fourth generation of those who hate me. Visiting iniquity. Generation upon generations. Generation upon generation. You don't understand this thing. Let me read more for you. Let's go to Exodus 34 verse 6. Exodus 34 verse 6. Exodus chapter 34 verse 6. The Lord passed before him and proclaimed, the Lord, a God merciful and gracious, slow to anger, and abounding in steadfast love and faithfulness, keeping steadfast love for thousands, forgiving iniquity and transgression and sin, but who will by no means clear the guilty, visiting the iniquity of the fathers on the children and the children's children to the third and fourth generation. When your family, when your ancestors enter into a covenant with an idol, a spirit, and you get up and say, because you are a Sunnist, you are a Christian, you worship that idol, you, your children, your grandchildren, 7 generations will suffer it. 7 generations. So we are suffering the curses of the spirits that we have entered into a covenant with. So if you are worshiping Allah, your ancestors did not enter into a covenant with that spirit with the name. So Allah cannot bless or curse you. But those that your ancestors have entered a covenant with, maybe the same spirit, but with a different name, that same spirit will be cursing you because the sacrifices he needed from you, you are not giving it to him. So the Creator does not punish man and generation. This is unfair. But with the law of contract, it is fair. Because when you are entering a covenant with the spirit, it will tell you, this covenant is binding to your generations to come. Yes. And we have a way of quashing or cancel the covenant. It's the African spirituals who know it, but we have dumped them because the malams and pastors are telling us that these things don't work. These things don't work. They are lying to you. There's no witchcraft. Witchcraft cannot do anything. It's Allah. Look at our lives. If you want to dump your idols, there's a ritual, a way you follow to cancel the covenant. In that case, they can neither bless nor curse you. And in that case, you'll be lonely. Any group of people with those spiritual powers can come and conquer you. Every land has their spirits. So Yahweh is telling you that he's an idol. He's not the creator. Because how can the creator be punishing children and their children's children because of their father's iniquity or sins? No, the creator does not punish people. And karma does not punish children because of their father's sins. No. Karma deals with you and you alone. So in short, that is idolatry. Christianity is what? Idolatry. He says, I'm a jealous God and blah, blah, blah. And let me read here Leviticus to confirm it. Let's go to Leviticus chapter 1 verse 1 onwards. Please listen. The Lord called Moses and spoke to him from the tent of meeting, saying, that's the tabernacle. It's a tent. So Moses went there and he was speaking with him. The Creator wouldn't come and speak with you. Speak to the people of Israel and say to them, when any of you brings an offering to the Lord, you shall bring your offering of livestock from the head or from the flock, bulls or rams or goats. If his offering is a burnt offering from the head, he shall offer a male without blemish. Some people say, in some people say without defect. So you don't use a bull, ram, or a billy goat whose leg is broken, whose eye is disgorged. Please, our idols, is it the same thing? You don't send even a bull with half testicles. No. It should be unblemished. It should not have any defect. This is idolatry. Listen again. If his offering is a burnt offering from the head, he shall offer a male without blemish. He shall bring it to the entrance of the tent of meeting. You don't enter there. That he may be accepted before the Lord. He shall lay his hand on the head of the burnt offering, that is the priest or Moses, and it shall be accepted for him to make atonement for him. Then he shall kill the bull before the Lord, and Aaron's sons, the priest, shall bring the blood and throw the blood against the sides of the altar. Throw the blood against the sides of the altar. That is at the entrance of the tent of meeting. So they constructed an altar there. Then he shall flay the burnt offering and cut its pieces. Cut it into pieces. It has cut it into pieces. And the sons of Aaron, the priest, shall put fire on the altar and arrange the wood on the fire. And Aaron's sons, the priest, shall arrange the pieces, the head, and the fat on the wood that is on the fire on the altar. But its entrails and its legs he shall wash with water. And the priest shall burn all of it on the altar as burnt offering and food offering with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. Pleasing aroma to the Lord. When Noah offered burnt sacrifice, the Lord was pleased with the aroma. He said, I won't destroy the world again. You don't know. That's an idol. The Creator does not have tastes, please. The Creator doesn't know what is aroma. We don't know whether the Creator is around. Whether the Creator eats or even sniffs, we don't know. Now let's go to chapter 13 or 14. Yeah, let's go to 14. If his offering to the Lord is a burnt offering of birds, then he shall bring his offering of turtle doves or pigeons. Doves and pigeons are the same breed, they interbreed. Pigeons are somehow bigger than the doves. I hope you understand. And the priest shall bring it to the altar and wring off its head and burn it on the altar. Wring. And burn it on the altar. Its blood shall be drained out on the side of the altar. Put the blood on the side of the altar. When you go to our shrine, when they slaughter the bird, the chicken, anything, they drain the blood on the side and even put the feathers attached to it. Don't you see something like that? Excuse me. Don't you see anything like that? That's idolatry. So when I tell you Islam and Christianity are idolatry, I have scriptural proofs. I wanted the Malams and the pastors to have come, and I'll read these things to them. And listen, he shall remove its crop with its content and cast it beside the altar on the east side. So you don't just do things like that. In the place for ashes, he shall tear it open by its wings, but shall not sever it completely. So you hold this wing, and pull it. But don't let it tear apart. And the priest shall burn it on the altar, on the wood that is on the fire. It is a burnt offering, a food offering, with a pleasing aroma to the Lord. So they are eating. Burnt offerings. That you should hold the wings like this and pull it. But don't sever it. Don't let it tear apart. And you burn it. Is this not rituals? Taboos. You should do it like this. If you don't do it that way, you won't get what you want. Okay. Now let's go to Numbers 28 verse 1. Numbers 28 verse 1. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, command the people of Israel and say to them, my offerings, my food, for my food offerings, my pleasing aroma, you shall be careful to offer to me at its appointed time. The Lord is hungry. And ye shall say to them, this is the food offering that ye shall offer to the Lord. 2 male lambs, a year old, without blemish, day by day as regular offering. The one lamb shall offer in the morning, and the other lamb shall offer at twilight. So daily offerings. You see, the people were tired and they dumped Yahweh. That's why he scattered them. Every day they show Yahweh and Allah are bloodthirsty. They are vampires. That is why Syria, they kill themselves and their waters become blood, because Allah needs blood. If I want to open to you the people they've killed in this book and the Quran, you ask yourself, Allah and Yahweh and the devil, who is now the devil? The devil has not killed a single person. The devil has not even spoken. We have not heard from the devil's side. So the people who are claiming to be the creator are imposters. So if I say they are the devils, understand me. Daily offering, lambs, one in the morning, one in the evening. And in Judges 11 verse 10 to 39, Jephthah, or is it Jehoshaphat, he killed a virgin girl, his virgin daughter, to Yahweh. Please, a virgin girl was offered as sacrificial lamb to Yahweh. Why? Because he asked Yahweh to help him conquer the Amorites. And Yahweh helped him, he conquered them. And when he was coming, he vowed that anything that will meet him on his way, he will kill it for Yahweh, from his household. And he has a dog, a puppet, which used to meet him when he's coming from war. So when Yahweh went and killed that dog, when he was coming,